So I do fancy myself as a bit of a boat spotter, but this is one that passed me by, and oh my God, how silly was I? I'm today on the Whitehaven Harbour Classic 40. I'm with Trav, he's from Australian Marine Sales, he's the dealer for these beauties, and this is a Down East style single shaft drive gentleman's cruiser that honestly you'd be really, really proud to own. This thing, it's capable. We've just been for a drive. I've just done the droning and driven it myself. Hydraulic thrusters, big 550 horsepower Cummins shaft diesel, a little bit of a keel underneath the waterline, and she just goes in straight lines really comfortably and looking absolutely cool. So anyway, I'm going to give you a walkthrough. So come with me. We'll start at the back of the boat. Trav, you come out here and we'll just start talking about everything that we see. For those of you that know, this is a bit like a Palm Beach, but she's 40 feet. She's the Whitehaven brand. They were started in about 2011, as from what I understand. They're made in Taiwan. And the quality, from what I can see, is fantastic. They're clearly overbuilding these boats. This is quite a heavy build from what I can feel. It's not rocking around where we are here, and it certainly was punching through those waves with great ease. And all the fixtures and fittings that I see around the boat, this is a 2019 model. She's not brand new. They are top notch and not deteriorating. So I think they are deliberately doing that to get your attention, building a fantastic product. And yeah, so let's explore. Starting at the back of the boat, we've got this integrated swim platform. Come back and have a bit of a look. Hopefully you can see there. This is probably a little bit under a metre long. We've got these teak sections, 1, 2, 3. So that's going to let the air pass through, and you won't get that slap, slap, slap noise. But we've got a decent amount of usable space to do this and look cool, and also to get in and out of the water, because underneath me in the center of the platform we've got a telescopic swim ladder which just passes out through there and deploys, so to speak. We've got our flag. You've got to have a flag on a boat like this. Whitehaven, obviously the red ensign's going to be flying proud on a boat like this. And nice big solid transom door. This I'm a fan of good quality stainless, and it's clearly using good stuff here. So this thing is solid. You can probably sit on that. Not that I'm about to test it. It's clearly solid and going to last a long time. It's got a teak stopper just there, and then a nice drain, the stainless steel slatted drain, which just screams quality at me. When you step aboard, we've got these grab handles all the way around. The first thing worth noticing or pointing out is this boat is built for Australia. The sun protection is awesome. So I'm picturing people, many different demographics being interested in a boat like this. But you know, if you're a yachty, if you've done a lot of sailing, and I know the owner of this boat because he is a yachty or was a yachty, and if you're moving out of that sailing lifestyle and you still want to be on the water, but you don't necessarily need to get eaten up by the sun every time you're out, and you do want that wind and sun protection, but you're not necessarily looking for those ridiculously fast or high fuel consumption boats, you still have a bit of that yacht thinking in your mindset, this is something to look at. But anyway, the sun protection, it's fantastic because it comes all the way to the back of the boat, so you're going to have really good protection. I can see this lip going around, so even when it rains, the water's going to drip. It's not going to come in and drip down. We've got a down light here as you enter, 2 more down lights, a couple of big speakers just here. These are the high quality ones, and lovely. Like this, I feel cool. Well, these guys are looking, g'day. This is what it's all about. Like, boating and boats is all about emotion. You buy a boat, it's not a practical decision, it's all about fun, good times and emotion. And the emotions that I get on this, cool and classy. Like, I would really enjoy a Friday afternoon sitting here having a glass of bubbles and a picnic. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 if you're little, 5, six people would quite easily sit down here and have a lunch, because you've got more than enough space for some plates, and you don't need to put the meals here, because you can actually serve up on our platform, which you'll see in a second, and then just eat here. So really, if you've got 6 there, you could also do 7, 8, 9 for drinks around this table, because you could quite easily do some director's chairs in this area. So that's great. I can see this solid teak table is up and down. So this one will go up and down manually, and you could then turn this into like a bit of a day bed if you wanted. There's storage, we'll cut to that, but there's storage underneath here and here. And then as we come aboard, we've got quite a sensibly located locker, which is, so that's going to be for your shore power, maybe 1 or 2 fenders and some lines, somewhere easy and accessible. Now, moving my way in, I'm going to just talk about this and go that way, so I want you guys to turn around so you can see me. I've got a big hatch just here. This is just your day access hatch to the motor. We will come back to that in the end of the video, so you'll have to stick around to the end if you want to see that. But that's easy access, and then there's also a really excellent topside access to the motor and all the running gear on this boat. So you guys come this way and then look back at me here. I want you to try and see all of this. How nice is this? Like, open, through flow, I've got ventilation coming through, I can see everything, and I'm in the shade. So this is what this style of boat's all about. But what do we have here? Quite a few things. So we got, this is a serving area. This actual bit here doesn't lift up because this is part of access to the engine. But what you do have is 2 large drawer fridges. So just to explain that, there is a hatch that comes up like this, and then this can come up so you can access the engine, the gen set. It has a stabilizer and the running gear. So that's how it works. That's why you see hinges here and here. But in your day-to-day function, this is going to be setting up platters and making cocktails. So on the port side, we have a wing station. We are going to cover that in a separate video. So this is a wonderful piece of tech. Some people are going to have concerns about a single engine boat, and my response to that is don't be concerned. This is a hull style that looks after you in all conditions, and having this tech and the thruster systems that it does, you can put this in a berth forward, backwards or sideways if you had to, because it's so powerful. So, a little bit of storage here. I can see fresh and raw water taps just there, so that's obviously for deck washing. I can see an emergency bilge pump just here, and making my way through, oh, gorgeous stainless, like this is solid. So that's how you close the boat up. This is a real thing worth thinking about when you are getting into a boat like this. If the boat is full of covers and clears and complicated bits and pieces, remember, what's your time worth? Like, if you've got to spend an hour prepping the boat and then another hour packing up the boat, that's an hour you could be doing something else useful with your time. Whereas on a style of boat like this, if you can just close that up and close the door and do minimal work, you're just going to have more fun. So I love seeing that. This thing is so overbuilt. It's got the gas strut there and these big locks here to keep it in place. That's not going anywhere. Let's just have a look at this. Okay, so this is a nice, similarly sized, solid door, and it's all see-through glass, but it's tinted. And then we've got a support for the roof, but that's also a grab handle. The only thing I guess I would like to see, as you probably know from some of my other videos, I'm a bit of a short man, maybe a little step just there, because I can't super easily get up there, but I've heard Whitehaven are already in talks about designing something sensible. So, I think that's everything. Come with me, let's go inside. I think if you guys just go over there and look at me here, I'll just talk about what I see. So, my impressions when I walk in, this is classy. This is classy. It's solid and it's classy. And why do I say it's solid? We are exposed to some boat wash. There is some waves out there today and they're bouncing off the opposite rocks. So we're not in perfectly calm water. and the boat's just steady. So she's got a low center of gravity. She's got a good overall displacement. So it's the kind of boat that you can just sit at rest and be comfortable, and your stuff's not going to fall off the table. And if it did get rough, well, this particular one, you can just turn on the stabilizer. But you've got really lovely views all the way out. And from a seated position, the seats are raised, so where even a short ass like me can sit down at this seat, enjoy conversing with the skipper, anyone in here or back there, and still enjoy a view over the water. So I like that. Now, just have a look here. We've got hatch lift button there, 2 more speakers, down lights. Right here is your TV, so that's cool. I kind of like hiding TVs away on boats because it shouldn't be your first priority, watching TV. You really should get out and enjoy this more than that. So that's kind of cool, but you know, if the cricket's on, you got to watch the cricket. I understand. So that's just a little access hatch. That looks like our Victron inverter charger. A couple of light switches here. That is your air conditioning, and this is an air conditioning outlet just here. Oh, this is fancy. Oh yeah, wow, some nice Scotch whiskey in there. So we've got stereo control, all our proper glassware holders. It's a mirror backed, and this lower one is quite deep, whereas these higher ones are a little bit more shallow. And then in here, that's your safety grab bag, locker, just there. Couple of lights just here, and ice maker. Super cool. So we've got fridge, whiskey, glasses, ice maker. You're really not wanting for anything here. This boat should be called gin and tonic. Let's call it gin and tonic. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Come in and let's just check out this upholstery. This is good quality. So I like the diamond stitch. So we've got timber. I don't know what you call this. Trav, do you have any idea what this is called?
It's a limed walnut. The timber is anyway.
Yeah, okay, interesting. So I like the finish. Obviously, there's going to be options on boats like this. You don't have to have this finish. Even this layout doesn't have to be what you choose on one of these boats. You can actually opt for the galley up as opposed to the galley down and have a separate lock-up cabin, but we'll get to that. But this has got a good feeling because it knocks the light down. The tint on the windows work really well, so I don't feel the need to wear sunnies in here. And my eyes are quite sensitive to the light. I'm sure that's the same for many of you. And you come in here and it feels like quite a sanctuary. But we've got a beautifully finished, very thick, high gloss timber, and it's even finished on the underside. A lot of boats I see it finished on the top, but not on the bottom, so it looks like it's been done to an equal standard, which is great. It's a winding, manually operated up-down, so this can turn into a day bed to watch TV. My comfort factor is lovely. You've got all these scatter cushions, but the support is actually pretty good, and you feel like you want to do that, so that's quite relaxing. But in terms of space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. So 6 or 7 out there, 6 or 7 in here. That's logical. That drops down. This drops down. You have mostly level floor. You come up a small step like that high into the main saloon. But then, as I mentioned before, these seats are raised so everybody is enjoying this view. So if you guys start coming in a bit closer, and I want to show you the helm before you get there, this is great to see. So this is air conditioned. We've got air conditioning outlets at the helm. We've got air conditioning outlets in the saloon that I can see. But having some natural ventilation is always handy. We've got the super cool drop-down window, which we'll talk about in a sec, but having a skylight or an opening sunroof is great too. And I have heard that the factory are considering options for larger ones as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, it is doable. It's electrically operated, and it's got some push-in blinds that knock out the sun if you need. So yeah, you guys come over there and look back here, and we'll just check out this helm. So I reckon sit as far as you can in the corner there, and I'll try and point out everything that I see. first thing I want you to look at is this seat. It just feels like a classic car. Like, it's cool. I like this. So we're just going to sit on it. It's comfortable. There is another video where we've done a test drive, so subscribe. That will be out sooner or later, so we can talk about all the performance of it. But she's cool and she's comfortable, this boat. But in terms of what we've got here, window up, down, electrically operated, seating for two, a non-adjustable wheel, doesn't need to be for this style of boat, an easy reach to the throttle, the joystick, and all your instrumentation here. Clear sight lines over the bow from a seated position. You really don't need to stand on this boat. It was quite obvious to me out on the drive. And a good footrest for short man. Thank you. So, I reckon, just there is how you start and stop everything. So that's all you control the batteries. This has got the C-Zone. So if you're not familiar with C-Zone, wonderful piece of technology. It takes the thinking away from operating your boat. So if you want to go cruising, you press cruising. If you want to hang out for the night, you press whatever the button that means hang out for the night. And if you want to shut it down, you shut it down. And it does all the switches for you. It's quite, it's simple. It's simple to operate. So you guys go in there and then come down this companionway stairs. So there's a little bit of a lip from the roof, so it's knocking out a little bit of the sun, so you don't have too much direct sunlight coming on these windows. 3 windscreen wipers and open feel before we go down into the middle of the boat. So this one is galley down, and there is an option to have galley up. So come down, and can you guys see this? I want you to see this. It's worth talking about because there's a lot of good stuff here. I'm 5'7", so head height, I don't know, maybe that's 6 foot plus, but obviously a lot more room here, unlimited here. We got beautiful, deep, and quite professionally finished Korean bench top. So we've got the microwave here. That is a fixed window there. We've got aircon outlet here, but there is ventilation, a forward-facing stainless steel hatch here. So if you were cooking something smelly, you could open that up, and there's many more forward, which is going to suck air through the boat. So that's definitely doable. This sink is nice. It's rectangular in shape, but angles that way to this big stainless steel grate. So you could put like lots of plates and things from lunch and just leave them in here and worry about them later. Now, from a cooking perspective, you've got 2-burner electric cooktop, and that's a sensible little design thing, isn't it? So that just keeps it out of the way, and then when you're finished, down you go. Behind, can you guys see that? Here's your little pantry storage just here, and another air conditioning outlet, 240 and 12 volt USB, and then this is a dishwasher. Oh, single drawer dishwasher. That's handy. Yeah, nice. Okay. And then single drawer. So that's the cooker space can be taken up underneath that one. And then normal size drawer. It's on the soft close, I can feel. And yeah, 1, 2, 3 drawers. And a single or half size one there. And we've got a little rubbish bin just here. And that looks like a light, or it could be power for the stove. So when you come down, you've got beautiful stainless steel supported companionway stairs, just the 2 stairs with a bit of grip on them. And then it feels quite open and spacious. It really is quite nice. But your fridge and freezer, that is just a full-on fridge freezer. So you're not going to be struggling. Oh my God. So we have 1, 2 fridge, an ice maker, a freezer, and a fridge. This is like, you can go away for a week and not worry about it. Yeah, okay. Full on setup. Oh, and this is carpet lined. Great for all your plates and bowls and picnic things could probably go in here. So that's good to see. Now, I did have a quick squiz. I won't do it now, but you've got access into the bilge. So there's 2. You can see the layup of the boat, and you can see where all the drains go to into the sump boxes and get pumped out. That's all accessible from here in the middle of the boat. I'm going to jump on the bed and have a bit of a look, and you guys follow me through. So first things first, this is the open plan layout. So there is this curtain to secure this, but I see this actual layout being probably appealing to couples or maybe couples with kids. But I think if you're a couple, you really would enjoy this layout. And obviously if you're going out with other adult friends or if you've got kids, you might want to go for the enclosure, you know, the cabin that encloses. So that is an option. But this is a big island bed. We've got an escape hatch and forward facing beautiful expensive stainless gear here. This is not your standard stuff you see. So this is going to go the distance, but that's going to suck air through there. I can see an air conditioning outlet there. I'm just going to got my feet off. Sorry, David. I'm just going to have a lie down on your bed. Oh my God, I could have a sleep right now. I'm a bit tired today. Can we just have a sleep and just cut back? I'm joking. That's lovely. That's lovely. That's a nice mattress. So you've got a good angle. Obviously, this is the bow, but this is all finished with this stuff that I don't know what the name of it is, but it looks good. It's got a little bit of a textured finish. That's a darker, and then this is slightly lighter. I'm sure you can choose the different finishings with Whitehaven, but it is worth noting you've got this diamond stitching in the headboard. This is one that you could sit up in bed. You got the reading lights, and yeah, this would just be a super nice place to hang out in the calm bay and relax of an evening. But we've got what do we have here? On starboard, we've got hanging locker, and then same again on port. And then underneath the bed, we have one quite large and deep drawer, and two quite large and deep drawer as well. And then on port, we've got two 240 volt sockets, some 12 volt USBs, and this Corian on each side sort of makes sense for putting, you know, unloading your pockets, putting your phones and wallets there for the evening. So that's good. So let's just make our way. I want to have a look at that bed now. So you guys come this way and look back at me. And so this was the companionway stairs that I was talking about before. This stainless here does provide a little bit of grip underfoot, and it's angled so your foot's not going to fall off if you were coming down in a seaway, so that's quite sensible. But here's the other cabin. So let's just have a little lie down. Woo, it's just long, this bed. Okay, so my feet are touching the back now. So that's how long this bed is. Like, I can't even touch the end. So you've got quite a bit of space here. You're still enough to roll around. That's not going to be a problem, but sitting up in bed is totally doable. And you've got reading lights, you've got a down light, reading light. I've got some light switches just there, so you're not going to feel hard done by as a guest just here, unless someone's been cooking some stinky food that you didn't like, but I think that's cool. So yeah, this is very sensible. There is an option to have this as a second lock-up cabin, or not lock-up, you know, an enclosed cabin is the word I'm looking for. So that would mean the galley goes up where the bar was before, on the starboard side behind the helm, and then this area becomes a separate cabin. Another thing worth talking about before I show you the loo, this flooring, I actually have this flooring, I had this flooring in an office of mine, and it's my favourite flooring that I've ever had. So it's a rubber-backed boat veneered floor. So it looks like a boaty, but it's got a rubber base, so it's got zero maintenance. It's really, really good stuff. Gives you a bit of grip underfoot, and you can't bash it up. It lasts forever. So that's awesome. I'm going to open this door, so you guys come back here, and then look at this hand. That's kind of cool. So, alrighty. This head is gorgeous. Come in and I'll sit down. You guys, you got to see this. It feels like a hotel in here. It's huge. There's a massive separate shower just there. But before I even get there, we've got all this lovely Corian.
this feels like I'm at some fancy hotel with all these little bath towels just here. But you've got a little bit of storage in each one for your loo roll and all your bits and pieces in there. You've got your toilet operation and your gauge just here, your light switches, this big sink. That's like very, very nice. But the other sensible thing is you'll be brushing your teeth at the sink and all those little bits of toothpaste are just going to go on the timber, and the mirror is going to stay clean because it's behind us. So you're not having to wipe it down. But like this, that's going to be important. So huge big mirror, you can see everything, you can do your business, the mirror will stay clean. Sensible thinking, more towels and storage just in here, plenty of storage. But this is the most solid shower stall that I have seen on a boat in a while. So this is glass. It's got a highly polished timber seat just here. Beautiful big fancy tap fittings and a rain head, like one of those big, I don't even know what you call them. I think it's rain head shower that goes up and down. And then we've got Korean tiles on the base. So it feels like a hotel that I was at in Turkey. They do luxury quite well, the Turkish. That's what it feels like. It feels like a luxury Turkish hotel. I don't know why, but that's just what it makes me think of. So you've got this stainless steel thing here. You can put soaps and other bits and pieces. You've got a little bit of stripped down lighting here. This is fiberglass, and this is all just flat. But when you get to the roof, it's got that timber look. So it's really boaty. It's quite nice. And this shower stall, like, that's all stainless steel. This is a 2019 boat, and I can't see a speck of corrosion or deterioration, which you would see on many boats after a couple of years. So it just looks new to me. So a forward-facing hatch, a fixed window just here, tinted. You're probably going to see through that at night time, but because it's quite high, I don't think you're really going to get embarrassed if anyone is on the boat next to you. What are they going to see? And the loo is a proper loo. Like it's not a plastic jobby. This is like a proper fancy loo that you would have at home. So that's really good. I think we need to go have a look at the engine room. So here we are in the engine bay. What just happened? The floor goes up electrically and the bar goes forward. So it gives you really good overhead access. It's beautifully finished out, this engine bay. So here's our stonking great big Cummins, straight shaft. That's a dry seal, so I don't see any water in this engine bay. Obviously there's bilge pumps all the way around. But what are we looking at? Motor, centrally mounted. Victron charger, fuel tank on the side. We've got this looks like our generator. This looks like our stabilizer. I've got refrigeration, exhaust, hot water, holding tank on that side, and another fuel tank, I think, on that side. The finish is fantastic. Well, obviously, the engine's freshwater cooled, but you can see some big exhaust fans just up here on port. So you're circulating air throughout the engine bay. It's got the fireboy system. It's really got everything. The hydraulics take up a bit of room, but I think they're a great piece of kit on this boat. But as I said, you can also option it for the electronic setup. And wait till you see the rudder stock on this thing. This thing is built to go places. I'm going to have to cut to some footage of this because it's just, for a 40-foot boat, it's built like a 60-foot boat. So that's good to see. There is a belter of a storm on its way, so I've got to try and be quick with this before we get wet. Quality surrounds me everywhere. I've got gripped fiberglass finished deck here and here. The walkways moving from the cockpit to the bow is clear and free of any obstructions. And then you've got good stainless grab rails and some roof rails up here. So you're not going to feel uncomfortable making your way forward. But a couple little things I noticed straight away. The gunnels, instead of having teak gunnels, which require maintenance in a country like Australia, you just don't need to overdo it on the timber. They've just done this, it looks like a timber strip, but it's clearly fiberglass and they've just painted it. And I think that's sensible. I also like
that we haven't teaked the bow. I mean, I do like teak, don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-teak. You know, I'll cut down trees anytime to make it look cool. But it's just from the point of view of practicality, like this bow here, you don't want to be loading it up with bird poo and sunshine and then adding extra work before you go and enjoy your day out on the water. So that's cool. These hatches, I'll quickly talk about these before I go back to the roof. Solid, this is really high quality stuff. This is going to last a long time. No plastic there. 1, 2, 3, that's into the galley, that's into the loo, this is into the master cabin. And then make your way, can you guys see all this? It's not a dedicated sun lounge, but you absolutely could lounge up here, because look at this angle. Like, I feel like a king up here, sitting like this. And I think you will too, because this is cool. So you could come up here with a couple of towels or some cushions and just do your thing. A few people can lounge about and enjoy themselves. And you could even do like a little bit of this, do your sunset drinks and just enjoy the scenery when it's not too hot up here. So that's cool. The anchor operation, we have already anchored this boat today, so I'm quite familiar with how it all works. Bucket loads of chain, beautiful stainless steel anchor, and dual hatches into this anchor well, which is deep enough to store extra fenders and ropes should you need. And you could take rope on the windlass, it's a Maxwell windlass, and chain just here, and it's operated with a remote control. So you really can just do it from the bow, and it gives you the depth, the amount of chain you've put out as well. But you can obviously do it from here as well. 1, 2, stainless steel. Once again, lovely to see, and you've got to have a bow flag on a boat like this. That's essential and looks cool. But quickly come back. I'm just glancing at these clouds. I'm hoping we don't get rained on. This roof, on a boat like this, you could do a lot of things with it. Yes, you can get up here and, you know, run and jump into the water and have fun on a sunny day, but it's the sort of setup where, you know, many people are going to want to have stand-up paddleboards. They're going to want to have kayaks and other water toys, whether you're taking out the grandkids or whether it's something that you like to do in your spare time, and this is the place to put it. So you've got your sunroof just here. There is an option, I can't remember if I mentioned that before, for a larger sunroof, so that's sensible. But on either side, you can get huge boards just down here. So that's something that a lot of people in this country are going to see a great benefit in. And then in the middle, we can still have our solar panels like we have, some trickle charge. We've got the mast, we've got the aerials, the nav lights, the horn. That looks like something for the dynamic positioning in front of the mast. And our grab rails on either side. So that's all just sensible. It's sort of like everything you need and nothing you don't. So what is my wrap up on the Whitehaven Harbour Classic 40? I'm glad I found this boat. It's definitely one that passed me by, but I can't believe it did. It is such a good piece of kit. This is a boat that you would pass down through the generations. This is a boat that if you're coming from sailing, for example, or if you're looking for something to last a long time and give you that, you know, those endless summers without the hassles and the wonderful feeling of being on a cool piece of kit, this thing's gonna do it. Like, it absolutely is. Not only do they build classic boats, they also build modern boats. So I think it's worth your while talking from Travis from Australian Marine Sales. He is the dealer for these boats. His link is going to be in the description below. My name's Dan Jones. This has been Dan's Boat Life. I'll see you on the next one.
What I need, sipping on the potion, all that good emotion, just my kind of heat, keep it on repeat, tested by the bar.